Well, hello, I'm Corvette Hop and welcome to the channel. We now have over 2 million views, and that would not be possible if it wasn't for each and every one of you. So thank you so much for watching. Today we're going to work on the C7 Corvette. We're going to replace the belt tensioner and the belt. Let's go ahead and get started. The belt tensioner we'll be replacing is GM part number 12686272. It cost about $80. And the belt is GM part number 12651112. Cost about $60. These are the tools we're going to use. 7mm socket. I like to use it like this. 8mm socket. 15mm socket. 13mm wrench. I like to use a ratcheting wrench. And a 15mm wrench. Again, a ratcheting wrench. Ratchet. I use the extension. And a foot-pound torque wrench. I do recommend jacking the front end of the car so you can get up under it. Let's start by removing the air duct. We'll do this by using a 7mm socket. And here are the locations of the 4 screws that we need to remove. We do this, of course, so we can get simple access to the belt tensioner. Now we'll go ahead and remove the 4 screws from the air duct. You may notice an extra pair of hands. Mike has volunteered to come down and help with this project. Here's a better view of the location of the screw that Mike is removing. Once the screws have been removed, go ahead and remove the air duct. Next, we'll go ahead and use an 8mm socket to loosen the screws on the air cleaner outlet duct. You can also use a flat tip screwdriver for this, but I prefer using a socket. And just so you can see it very clear, a little more video on the location of that second screw. Okay, now I'll go ahead and remove the 2 vacuum hoses. Simply push in on the little gray button and lift up. There you go. Now, go ahead and lift the duct assembly and put it aside. Voila. Use a 15mm socket and ratchet to put on the pulley portion of the belt tensioner. Crank clockwise. That'll allow the belt to loosen and you can remove it from where the alternator is at. Now go ahead and remove the belt. Next we'll go ahead and remove the top bolt of the belt tensioner. We'll use a 15mm wrench that ratchets. And we do that because there's not a whole lot of room to move around. I simply use my hand to loosen the rest of the bolt and then pull it out. Next, use a 13mm wrench to remove the bolt from the bottom end of the belt tensioner. Mike was able to get to that bolt by going underneath the car and reaching up. Once both bolts are removed, go ahead and remove the belt tensioner. Reinstall the belt tensioner from the top end of the car. Install the top bolt finger tight because later on we're going to have to use a torque wrench. Tighten the bottom bolt from the bottom side of the car. I ended up using the 15mm wrench on the top bolt and the 13mm wrench on the bottom bolt to make the bolts just snug. Preparation for the torque wrench. Not a lot of room for a torque wrench. The upper bolts torqued at 43 foot-pounds and the lower bolts torqued at 16 foot-pounds. Now let's go ahead and install the new belt. I've attached a belt routing diagram to show you exactly how it should be installed. Reinstall the belt in reverse order that you removed it. Attach the 15mm socket on the pulley end of the belt tensioner so that you can loosen the tensioner and install the belt near the alternator end. Now go ahead and install the air cleaner outlet duct. Use that 8mm socket to tighten both ends of the clamp. There we go. Like a champ. Next, reinstall the air duct. Use a 7mm socket to reinstall the 4 bolts.
Once everything is attached, go ahead and do an operational check. Start the engine. Double check to make sure the belt is routed correctly. Check for lost tools.
Well, thank you for watching. You know, the whole purpose of the channel is to help you save time and money. If you like what you see, then go ahead and subscribe right here.